might have to redo this whole fucking thing because the might not work. This might not hear. The whole ocean might be too loud, killing us out here. Send it. All right. Got battle. This shit dies halfway through the podcast. I'm gonna unpin your mic.
We'll share it?
Yeah.
You can share it. Okay.
All right. Welcome to the Jacob Gospel podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Gospel. This is my wife, Brandy Gospel. And if you hear all that noise behind us, we're at the beach. It's something that we do probably 4, 5, 6 times a year. We call it kind of a vision retreat, so marriage retreat, different things like that. So anyway, today we're talking about the actual taking a break from life, taking that time, taking that retreat. You know, obviously we're on a marriage retreat, a vision retreat. We have all kind of names that we end up using for it, but it's really just taking time away from the everyday problems and obstacles and even the good things in life that we can just escape from, just me and her, where there's no distractions. Just like focus on us, focus on the future. So like there's so many things to focus on that need our focus that a lot of times we just don't.
Yeah.
Because we get distracted. And I'll say this before we kind of break things down. It doesn't, like we all know, and I say this time and time again, we all know like things that are bad, we're going to stay away from it. Like we're not going to do bad things. But the good things, we're like, well, this is a good thing, so let me do it. But the difference between a good thing and a bad thing is there's not much difference. The difference from both of those, as far as destiny is concerned, you know, what I'm talking about is a God thing. That's something way different. So like you have good things, you have bad things, but then you have, you know, great things or whatever. But then you have God things, and that's the place where God wants you to be. Like that's your destiny. That's who you were meant to be. Like imagine, Ed Milet talks about this, where he says whenever you die, or he believes whenever he dies, or we all die, we're gonna go to heaven, and God's gonna reveal to us the us that God meant us to be, the real, full potential Jacob Gospel, right? And at the end of my life, am I going to look like that person? You know, am I going to look who God made me to be? Like I want to become the closest version of that as I possibly can, to where whenever I die, I'm like, okay, well, he had hair, you know, this might be the only thing that's different, but that's what I'm talking about. So when you focus and you spend this time here, we can focus on those things, like where we're at in our faith, where we're at in our family, where we're at in our business, where we're at in our freedom, you know. Like, what does all that look like? What does all that look like? Wait, there was 4. Faith, family, fitness, freedom. Did I say them all? I might have said them all.
I think you missed fitness the first time.
Yeah, I might have missed fitness the first time. But we have goals, and everything in life fits in those 4 categories. So it's easy to get distracted by that day to day when you're home in the mix. You know, when you have employees calling you all the time, when you have kids needing things from you all the time, when the car's breaking, when the door won't shut, when the house is locked and my keys inside, like all the little things.
Right.
You have to get away. And you have to do that. You know, you can't. Some of the biggest ideas, some of the biggest, some of the best accomplishments I've ever had comes after we had these retreats.
Yes.
You know, some of the greatest ideas that I've ever had, I had them on these retreats.
Right.
You know, we talk about Sales Boss, so a portion of we are changing up the show from the Sales Boss podcast to the Jacob Gospel podcast yet again, because we could cover more things. So we're going to end up having shows within the show, right? Guess where all that came about? On a retreat. The whole Sales Boss brand happened on a retreat. Deciding to put it back and have shows within the show. Guess what? On the retreat. You can't think of those things when you're at home.
Well, because you're a lot of times we live in survival mode. We live in reaction mode, right? Like we spend our whole days reacting to the things that happen.
Yeah.
We react all day long to the things that are going on. So
Gotta make sure they can see my buddy Andy's shirt here.
yeah, don't hide it.
Go get you one of them free as fuck shirts.
So when you're in your day-to-day and you're taking care of kids and you're running a business and you're paying bills and all the things that are not necessarily bad things, but they just take up your time and your energy. And when you are in those modes, if you don't take the time to be creative, to just learn about yourself, even to take a minute to look inside yourself and self-reflect and all those things, you're going to end up detouring off of your path, and you won't even realize it. You won't realize that you went 100 miles in the wrong direction, and now you're going to have to U-turn. Whereas if you can every now and then take a little pause and say, wait a minute, bring it back here for a little bit. We went off course just a tiny bit. Then you can bring it back to where it needs to be.
Well, like I know from experience in the past, we would do these retreats. Like we would take family vacations. That's different. This is not what I'm talking about. You can't have the fucking kids with you when you're trying to do shit like this, because you just soon stay home and save the money.
You're just in survival mode in a different location.
Right, exactly.
Basically.
Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. Those of you who are parents, look, when you take your family on a vacation,
You need a vacation.
You get back home, you ready to fucking you need a vacation from the vacation.
And we have great kids.
And we do have great kids. We do. But my point is, we would do these like once a year.
Yes.
Then we started doing them twice a year.
Yes.
Then we started doing them once a quarter. Now we do them once a month. I know that seems like a lot, but and it seems expensive, and it is expensive, right? But that's a relative term, because
What do you get out of it?
well, here's why. Because if we come and you do this retreat once a year, next year when you reevaluate everything that you're looking at, you might have been 20 degrees off on your flight. So imagine like a ship crossing the ocean, or an airplane flying to a destination, and they're 20 degrees off. Well, that might not make a big difference if you're only going a mile.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going 1,000 miles or 3,000 miles across the country and you're 20 degrees off, you're nowhere fucking near where you're supposed
Right.
to be.
Yeah.
Right? So, how do you do that? How do you fix that? Okay, well, we cut that time in half, right? So instead of going 3,000 miles at 20 degrees in the wrong direction, okay, we went off, cut it in half. So now we're 15 degrees off at 1,500 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so holy shit, we can redirect, right?
Yeah.
So now our yearly goal, we got a little redirection 6 months in,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we can course correct. Well, then we did it once a quarter. Okay, so now we're like 7 degrees, so to speak, off. And I'm using big numbers like 20 degrees off.
Right.
No one should be 20 degrees off in a year on their goal. Like, you're sucking if you're doing that. Like, call me, we can help.
We can figure it
Right.
out. That's
But
right.
You're doing it wrong if you're 20 degrees off. Not knowing that you're 20 degrees off. But now that I notice that we do this once a month, okay, man, even if we would go 20 degrees in a year, or let's say just 24 degrees in a year to make it easy to divide by 12, because I'm not really that great at math, that's 2 degrees a month. So if I could course correct 2 degrees at a time, well, that's not a big course correction, right?
That's right.
So like I could get off in a month and be like, oh shit, man, I should have been doing that. I forgot to do. Okay, let's work that back in the schedule. Let's reevaluate where we're at. So when you think about it in terms of money, like making money, you know, because we're in sales, we have agents in sales, where they get paid on what they do. Well, if we can evaluate more often the cost of this trip, and that's what I'm getting at, the ROI, what you get out of this, is way greater than what it costs.
Yeah, you have to look at what you get out of it. You can't just look at what you're putting in. You have to look at what comes out.
Yeah, because it's for us, it's more of an investment than a cost. Like I do not look at any of this as a cost. This is an investment. This is like the cost of business. You know, you got to pay inventory to sell inventory, right? You got to buy inventory. So this is just part of that. But the more you do it, and the more you can course correct, the more efficient you can be. Which means, in the end, on the bottom line, the more money you make. So don't be scared of that. Don't aimlessly do it. You know, don't just come here with no purpose. Like there's structure that goes on here. Like we have to focus on certain things while we're here, which is the point of being here.
Right.
It's not just a vacation.
Right.
But we do enjoy ourselves.
Right.
We do have
and
a lot of fun.
And it's not, we don't normally take trips and party. Usually we're in bed really early. It's a lot of rest. We have a lot of fun, but it's more of a rest. It's more of a relaxation. It's a recuperation. It's
a mental break.
It's a mental break. That's right. It's really a mental break. We have routines that we stick to every day of our lives, no matter where we are. So even when we're on a trip, when we're on a retreat, we still have our same routine. We still wake up in the morning. We still go to the gym. We still eat our meals that we're supposed to eat. We still do all those things. It's the in-between where we focus on each other. We focus on the future. We just enjoy each other so much more without any of the distractions that we normally have in our day-to-day, because we take time out for each other even when we're not on a trip, obviously, but here it's just a longer amount of time uninterrupted is basically what it is, and it just allows for more creativity. It allows us to build the vision and just gets us there a little quicker, I feel like, too.
Yeah, your environment makes a difference. So when you're home, you're home. Yep. You know, you see this home every day. It's the same thing every day. And look, I love where we live. It's not that. It's when you go to a different place, it's a different environment. So when you look at things that you haven't seen before, you're more attentive. It opens up things in your eyes. Like there's scientific, I'm not going to get into that, but like it's proven that when you go places, like your receptors see things that you normally look over, right? So like imagine driving down your road, going home, down your street, whatever. Do you notice what color the neighbor's mailbox is? Do you notice what's in the ditch? Do you notice, like there's so many things you don't even notice. And when you're away, you tend to notice more things because you're looking. You're more attentive. So creativity comes from that. That's what stirs it up.
Draws it out.
Yeah. You meet different people. You're looking at different houses. Like it's one of those things that the environment will bring out things in me to make me think, make me do something a little bit different. Mostly think a little bit different. You know, that's where really everything starts. And it's like a fresh perspective on it. Besides the whole course correct thing of your goals, this is where the new creativity comes from.
think we might have jumped in without a proper explanation. I'm just thinking about it. So
that would be very much like what I do.
Right.
Y'all don't get what's going on right now? Yo.
But what I'm thinking is, I think we just missed a big step. So in any part of our life, if it's our job, if it's with our kids, our family, our marriage, all these things, we have to know where we're going. We have to know what the goal is. If I have a goal to lose weight, gain weight, save money, buy a house, buy a car, open a business, whatever it is, I have to know in my mind what the end result looks like, right? I have to know what I'm working towards. If not, how can I get there? And so we always need a map to get us where we want to go. Well, if we don't know where we're going and what the end result looks like, there's no way we'll ever get there. And it's the same thing with a marriage. You have to know what you want your marriage to look like. What's the goal? What's the end result? How do we want our lives to look in a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? And the only way to know that is to pray about it, think about it, talk about it, visualize it, right? And so one of the things that we do while we're here is we talk about the vision that we have for our life and our marriage. And then once we know what the vision looks like, then we can figure out how to get there. We kind of work backwards and figure out how we want to get there. And without taking the time, we're just kind of like floating aimlessly, I feel like. If we don't take the time to map it out, we're just kind of letting the wind blow us.
You let life happen to you.
Right, we're just letting the wind blow us wherever. But if we come here and we take the time and invest the money, the energy, and the time to work it out, we can figure out where we're going and we can figure out how to get there. And it's just basically building the structure for when we go back home. What are we going to do every day to get us to where we need to be? Because that's how you get to where you want to go. That's how you reach the goals that you have, is the little things that you do every single day. And so the only way to know what those things are is to figure out where you're going first.
Yeah.
Right? Does that make sense?
No, 100%.
And I know so many couples, it kind of blows my mind when I think about it, but they don't take trips together at all. And if they do, it's either with a big group or it's with all the kids. And I'm not saying that's bad, because we do those also. Yeah. But if you don't ever take that time with your spouse, how do you ever know where you're going? How do you ever work it out? How do you ever chart the course, so to speak? And when we take trips, they're not always at the beach. They're not always far. They're not always expensive. Sometimes it's 2 nights away. Sometimes it's 6-7 hours away. Sometimes it's 2 hours away. It's just to get out of the environment and into a new one, because that's where you can really be creative, and that's where you can really separate yourself from what's going on back home and focus on that person that you're with. And honestly, you're my best friend, so I have fun with you no matter where we are. So why wouldn't I want to schedule a time to be with you, my favorite person, doing the things that we love to do together? Like, that's the whole point of life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I know people who will say, well, we don't have time. But I see you every weekend. You're either hanging out with friends.
Boys' nights, girls' nights.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hunting.
You're hunting.
This one's doing this.
Right,
Yep.
right. And so it's like...
And nothing's wrong with those things.
Right, right. But in the priority of things...
But you can't say you don't have time.
You can't say you don't have time. That's
when
right.
You
That's
obviously
just like,
have time.
It's just like you can't say you can't afford it. You know, because you can afford something. You can take something out, and it's all about what you choose to spend your money on.
Yeah. I think that's
You know?
the thing that people forget is like, well, you have the choice in this. But I feel like most people, like we were talking about earlier, if you don't do these things, you're just running through life aimlessly, and life just pushes you around and
where it wants you to go.
guides you where it wants you to go, which I believe that's part of what the devil does.
You
So
said it before.
if
Yep.
the devil, like what I was talking about, good and great, and then there's God.
Yes.
That's different.
Yes.
Like, this is the God stuff. God's a planner. Like, he's strategic with what he does and very focused. So that's what we want to do. And of course we mess up, and of course we're sinners, and of course we all these things.
Yep.
But this is a time to focus back on God and the plan that he has for our life and all that stuff.
And also, we can't hear him if
With
it's
the
too loud.
noise.
It's too loud. It's too noisy. We
And-
can't hear unless we quiet everything around us. And I feel like that's a lot of what happens when we're together alone. We can just hear him so much better.
And when we're running around, like I said, if we come to do this to focus on God and the plan he has for our lives, the devil don't need you doing bad things. He just needs you not doing God things.
He needs you to not do the God.
And I know I'm like a broken record saying that, but all it takes for evil to win is for good people to do nothing,
Yes.
right? So what you think aimlessly running around is nothing.
Because there's no neutral.
Right. He doesn't need you to do the bad things. He needs you to not do the God things. And if people got that, man, it would be like
Right.
this whole world would be different.
Right.
But that's not the case, and that's why we're here doing this. Because you know what? If not me, then who? Because when and look, not to toot my own horn, I feel like this is a burden that's been put on me to do the things that other people want to do, right? So like, if we don't do it, then who's going to do it?
Right.
Because when I look around, and this is not, I mean, you just look around. There's not many people. Like, what are people? Out of shape, unhealthy, minds are fucked.
They're distracted.
And listen, totally distracted,
They're distracted.
unfocused, no ambition, cell phones in their face all the time, video games. You know, that's not God's work, man. Like, God needs to be able to send us and be warriors out here, not big fat fucks just being lazy. So, and I say that because that could apply to everything, right? And I use that a lot because of fitness. That's like the ultimate, you know,
Right.
if I can tell how you look most of the time, how you carry yourself, I can see the discipline that you have in your life because of that, right?
Yeah.
And I know some people don't. They got medical issues, whatever. Don't message me with that bullshit. But the majority of the people don't.
Right.
It's habits and
I was
all
about to
these
say
things,
being
right?
healthy are the habits, not
So-
the way that you look.
Right.
Mhm.
And these are the places, and I can say that shit because I was fat as fuck too, you know? Like, I know what it's like to be that, and I know what it's like not to. And it's a much better life not to. It's a much better flow whenever it's not like that.
Right.
Are things still hard? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, it's always going to be hard, but you have a choice in it. And that's going back to what you were saying. It's like, you don't have time to do this. Yes, you're choosing to spend time doing something else. You have time to go hunting. What if you don't go hunting one weekend and do this?
Yeah.
You know, spending money is the same thing. Like, we spend money on things that we value. All of us do. You do too. So it's not a matter of like, I don't have it. It's like,
What do
you
you
just
value?
don't value these things.
Yeah, that's what you value.
So
yeah.
I see many people valuing the cigarettes. I see many people valuing the alcohol. And nothing wrong with it. I drink alcohol. I don't drink a lot. Very rarely.
Yes.
But I do. But I value the protein shakes. I value the lean food that I eat, which is not expensive, by the way. About less than $2 a meal. You know, I value my family. So I spend money on those things.
Yeah. So I just remembered something. Not that long ago, I don't remember how long this was, but we had a conversation and we were talking about a healthy marriage looks like. What is a good marriage? What do other people see as being a good marriage, right?
Cool.
And so, remember, and I posted it.
Comments on that were funny as
I posted
shit.
it on Facebook, and I asked my friends, what does a good marriage look like to you? And we're
not hating on nobody.
No, and we got some really good answers, and we had
some crazy ones.
We had some crazy ones, but we really had some good ones. And I think, because I wanted to know, I know what a good marriage looks like to me, but maybe it obviously, it doesn't look the same to everyone, right? I mean, everybody's different. And so I started thinking about it, and I think regardless of what each person thinks a good marriage looks like, it's almost irrelevant. I think when I thought about it even more, we know that our kids learn by watching us, right? And so our kids are going to grow up thinking that a marriage is supposed to look like what they saw, which is us and what we, and so I think about that. If every person who commented on that post, if they think that their marriage is good, they told me what they think a good marriage is, would they want their kids to grow up and have the marriage that they have now? If my kids grow up and have the marriage that we have, I will be super happy about it. Now, I know that we have a lot of growing to do, and so I hope they pass us up, and I hope they have an even better marriage than we do. I hope they, right, exactly. But if the least that they do is have a marriage like ours, I will be elated. It will be, I feel like my job will be done, and that's what we have to remember. When we're investing in our marriage, we're investing in our children's marriage. We're investing in what they see. Because I know some people will sit here and say, well, we can't leave our kids. We can't, but they're fine. They're fine. They want you to come home and be happy and loving, and I promise you, they want parents who love each other and who get along and who respect each other, and they want to see a good marriage so they know how to have a good marriage. Nobody wants to get married and say, I want an average one.
Well, and the other thing too, like the kids are going to do what they see you do, right? So it's going to be one or two things. Your kids are either going to follow in your footsteps and do exactly what you did, not what you said, not what you told them to do. They're going to do the same shit that you do.
Yeah.
Or they're going to do the opposite of what you do, right?
Yeah.
Because I kind of took that road a little bit, where there was shit that was bad, and I was like, I'm not going down that road.
Right.
I want to go down a good road.
They're either going to learn what to do or they're going to learn what not to do.
But the thing that's important to understand here is you're showing them everything. And the things that you think you're hiding that they don't see, like you're keeping it a secret, they see it.
They see it.
I promise you. They see it. And that's why, like, for me, the embarrassing things, the things that I do that's fucked up, I tell my kids. Because, like, what I don't want is them to think something of me and then find out later that
you feel like you betrayed them.
Yeah, like I lied to them. That thing wasn't right or whatever. So that chopper's coming. Hang on, wait a minute. They didn't get the memo that we were doing a podcast like here. I don't know. Maybe it's the paparazzi.
You think so?
Could be. It's been years since I've had paparazzi come after me, but maybe they found me.
So
but yeah, so they're gonna see it. Like they know, like all the things that you think you're hiding from them, they know it. And if that makes you feel like shit, then you need to stop it. Stop it. You talk to somebody, send us a message. It's not like we've all been through that. We've all been through the whole secret thing, trying to hide things, like, and then when it comes out, you feel dumb as fuck because they've been seeing it the whole time.
Yeah, they saw it. They knew.
It's like when somebody does drugs and they're trying to hide it, and you're like, that motherfucker's all fucked up on drugs, but he don't think he is. He's like walking around like he's sober. Like
when you were younger and you got drunk and you tried to hide it from your parents because you thought you were cool, but you really weren't. You thought you were walking straight, but
don't lie to your kids.
You weren't.
More importantly, don't do the dumb shit. So because they're going to see that. Like, you're the model for them.
Yeah, and the bottom line is, I know I don't want average for my kids. I want exceptional for my kids. I want great for my kids. And the only way is for them to see it so that they know what it looks like. They know what great looks like. I don't want anything for them to be average. And so, I need to model an exceptional marriage. And the only way to do that is to have a plan and to build it, because there is no marriage lottery. Like, we didn't just happen to get lucky and win the lottery. No, it's hard. It's hard work. We have to communicate. There's arguments and there's tears and there's miscommunications and frustrations, and we have all those things, but we work hard to get through them, and we don't just let life toss us here and there and then well, this is where we end up. No, we have a plan and we work towards it, and I think that's the only way you can have an exceptional marriage.
So, bro, like those of you who've been following us for knowing us for years and following us when we had the original podcast series going, this probably sounds exactly the same as the shit we talked about back then on this. And there's a reason for that.
Not much has changed.
It's not because, and see, like what you just said, that's what most people think, well, not much has changed. No, this on purpose, this is this way because this is the kind of shit that works.
Right.
This is not that we don't have anything else to talk about. This is not that, we haven't found a new way to do it. No, there's a way to do it. And there's more than one way to do it. But once you found a way that's extremely efficient, why would you go look for other ways? Like if one comes across, well, then I might take a look at it. Mm-hmm. And if I can incorporate a couple things into what we do, I will. But my point is, like, we repeat a lot of the same things because
we repeat the same things every day.
The shit works.
Mm-hmm.
It works. It's like going to the gym and, doing bicep curls. Yeah, you could do a couple variations of different grips and things for your biceps.
Right.
But there's one thing that's going to happen. Is this is going to be long, and then you're going to flex it, and it's going to be short, right? This is the only movement. There's only one thing that you can do to work this bicep, and it's to take this forearm and move it from this position to this position. Yeah. That's it. There's different things that you could do to make it fun in your mind, but the reality when it comes down to the needle moving thing, there's only one movement to that.
Right.
And there's the same thing with marriage, there's the same thing in business, the same thing with your faith. It's the same thing. And I don't want to get into this because we're going to do other podcasts with this, but just for the point of this, for faith, how do you think you strengthen that muscle? We have to spend time in the Word, praying, meditating, and talking and listening to Him. That's it. It's fundamentally simple. But it's not easy because we live in the freaking cell phone world and we want to go out there and, microwave everything and, what's the new thing? Because, like, somebody else always has something that's a hack.
Yeah.
And a lot of you need to quit looking for the fucking hack and just do the work. Because you're trying to avoid, you're not looking for a hack. What it is you're lazy and you're trying to avoid the work. You just don't want to work. You're never going to get out of it what you deserve. But actually, you're going to get exactly what you deserve. If you don't put the work into your marriage, you're going to have a shitty marriage. And that's exactly what you deserve. It's not easy. Nothing's easy. It all comes with work. It's like you want muscles. It takes work. Like there's no hack. There's no hack.
No.
The hack is there is a hack. Just wake up every day and do the needle moving shit every single day to the best of your ability. Personal excellence. That's really what everything boils down to. Be the best you can every day. Be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. Tomorrow, just a little more to today. And some days you might be worse, but you're going to execute those same things over and over and over. It's not just about reps. It's about quality reps, right? And
True.
What's quality reps? I'm going to bring all this back together right now. You can go and take 100 cuts in baseball, or you can play basketball. You can take 100 shots. You can take 1,000 shots. If you take 1,000 shots shooting the wrong way with the wrong technique, you're gonna still fucking suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just took 1,000. In fact, you're
You
gonna be worse because
yeah.
you're reinforcing
the bad behavior.
The terrible fucking behavior that you have
right.
in your mind and in your muscle memory is gonna be terrible. So the only way to correct that is to set up something and film it, have a coach near you and watch you, correct you. You need something. You need some type of feedback mechanism to be able to evaluate what you're doing and make those corrections, which is exactly what this is right here. Mm-hmm. What do we do in the short term? It's like this. What have we been doing? Here's the goals. Here's the activities. What works? What don't work? And evaluate it. And be like, okay, what do we need to do? Right? Some things, hey, look, nothing. We're going to keep this working. Other things are like, scratch that shit. Like how many times I come to you, because I'm in business and I've got all kind of things going. So many fires, so many irons in the fires. And
all the irons and all the fires. Yeah,
and I mean, and it's everything that you ever dreamed it would be. Everybody wants to come to work for you. Everybody wants to quit. It's all one of those things, right? It's like I thought this was going to be easy. I can make so much money. Now I'm broke. It's all the things, right?
All the things.
And you have to deal with all these different types of people. So I have all kind of ideas and systems and just different things in place to help me. And as things grow, I add adventures and different things to the business to expand, right? Some of it's vertical, some of it's but the thing is, I come back once a month and I evaluate, and it's like, okay, wait a minute, this thing, how does this thing move the needle?
Yeah.
And some things that I was doing wasn't moving the needle. And they were great things. And listen, you're never going to know about them right now until I launch them. But we put them on the back burner. We put things on the back burner. Like I have a lot of things on the back burner because now is just not the right time, right? I need to focus on the main thing. And I think a lot of times we don't keep the main thing the main thing. And when it starts to get a little traction, we'll get off of it and go try to do something over here, and then it loses all momentum, And I'm not just talking about business here. I'm talking about marriage here too. I'm talking about being a good dad, being a good mom, being what you need to be the model for your children.
Your marriage ends up on autopilot,
right?
Basically.
So you need to break that and focus on it, and everything needs to be intentional. Everything needs to be intentional. Everything. And that's the point of all this. You have to reevaluate what's working, what's not working. And listen, we're just kind of brushing this back together right now because it's something that we feel called to do to add value back to you guys, but selfishly, it makes me better. Mm-hmm. Like doing these videos and putting out this content, it makes me better because I know there's some people out there that watches my shit to see me fail. And I love it because it makes me better. I like people looking at. I've been having people calling me out on my whole, waiting for me to fail all my life. I've been a loser forever. But I kind of tend to win. So thank you.
You got me.
Thank you, all of you. Give yourself a hand if you were hating on me. But no, all bullshit aside, it's one of those things that you have to be intentional about. You have to take this time. You have to, you just, intention is everything. You have to focus.
Yeah, I think people don't realize there's no neutral.
Yeah.
There is no neutral. If you're not going forward, you're going backwards.
100%.
If you're not adding value, you're losing value.
Yep.
If your words are not giving life, they're giving death. No matter what. There is no neutral. And so if you're not actively working on your relationship, you're going backwards.
Yeah.
And eventually it's going to fall apart.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. Y'all see it every day.
Right.
We see it. We've been through it.
Well, I mean, we've been through it.
You know?
Right. And I think one of the reasons that we can have the good relationship we have now is because we saw what a bad one was like. We know the things that we did in our first marriages that were not building, not going, we're not, pushing it forward. We didn't know. So when we got married, we still didn't know. So we had to learn. And that's the only way you're gonna know things is if you learn them. So we read books. We went to conferences. We went to retreats. We saw counselors. We had a pastor.
Yeah.
When we reached a situation that we didn't know how to work through, we found somebody to help us work through it. Somebody we trusted.
Many times.
To get us through it. And so we didn't just let the wind blow us wherever. We were intentional with growing and learning, and we still have so far to go.
But listen, hear what she's saying. Like, reaching out to those people is not just for problems either. Like, it's for just decisions. It's for like, hey man, look, I got this big deal coming
It's
up.
another
Like,
perspective.
what's the best thing for me to do, right? So it's called wisdom. So you need to pull on these people who've been there, people older than you in the same, like, I'm not going to ask my dad about business decisions. I'm not, right? Like, we're nowhere on the same level. But there's some people that I can ask for business business advice, right? So I can get wisdom from those guys. I'm not going to ask an alcoholic how to get sober.
An unhealthy person,
right?
how to get
I'm not going to
healthy.
ask the fat person how to get in shape. Like, I'm just not.
Right.
He might know, but it doesn't look like he knows. There's no proof there, right? So look at the people with proof, like vet that. Like all of my coaches in business, the people that's guiding me in business, they're proven. They're very much proven. Now, the people who are marriages are a little bit different because you kind of don't know, I mean, people are so fake nowadays.
Yeah, you have to be really careful with who you go to.
And everybody,
marriage advice.
like most of the people I know that are married and actually give a little marriage advice, they've never had issues in their marriage. They've never been divorced. They have the perfect marriage. Everything is perfect. But that's a little bit sketchy to me because I know nothing's perfect. Maybe somebody died down there. Phone rang, so I'm not sure if something happened to the video, but anyway, just be careful with who you ask because, like, we're not perfect. We never claim to be perfect. We got issues, we got problems just like everybody else. But my point is, like, when you're reaching for somebody to help, it's don't wait for a problem to come and then go look. No matter what its area of life is in. Like, be proactive with it, right? Intentional. That's the point. So,
well, because we have a tendency when an issue comes up, we're going to do one of two things. We're going to go to the people that are closest to us
to make us feel better,
regardless of what, where they are in life, what they've lived through, what they've accomplished or not. We're going to go to those people because that's the people we're comfortable with. Or we're going to go to the people who we know will agree with us.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was getting at with the people close to you.
Right. And what I want is somebody to say, hold on, mama, you might be looking at this the wrong way. Yeah. You might have overstepped. You might have, you might have strayed away from where you need to be and kind of put me back in my place if that's what I need.
One of the greatest things that's ever happened to me, a good friend of mine, Eric Smith, told me this bad shit was going on, and he was like, how you know that's not supposed to happen? And I was pissed. I was like, fuck you. It's not supposed to happen. It sucks. But it was supposed to happen.
It was supposed to happen.
And I couldn't see it at the time, but on the other side of it was greatness. And I'm like, okay, well, now I understand. But when you're in it, you don't see that.
Right.
So you need those people to be able to walk with you and help guide you. Just, to let you know it's okay to go through the shit. And there's only one way to get out of the shit is to keep going through it.
You can't turn around.
You can't stay there.
Yeah.
You're just going to be in the shit.
Just keep moving.
So,
just keep moving. Keep moving.
This was again like we need to end this podcast because we can literally talk about this forever, which is probably what we're going to talk about on every show, but it's going to be a little more detailed. So I feel like
we kind of went down.
We kind of like
all the paths.
Yeah, we
today.
scratched the surface to everything. We're going to go a lot deeper on the things in the future. But we just wanted to put this together just to let you guys know that it's these things. It's still these things. Of course I hadn't been online and doing a bunch of things as much as I used to, and I want to change that. We're going to step that up so you can see a little more about what we have going on. But the fact of the matter is all the principles and systems that we've been doing is the same principles and systems that we've been following. And the funny thing is, when you measure it, we're in totally different places from before, but it's the same systems. So it's just a formula. You keep, this year you plugged in a 7, next year you plug in an 8, next year you plug in a 9,
right.
And that's it. Like the numbers change, and things are just different. So anyway, leave with some final words.
I think what I want people to get from this podcast is just, not only is it okay for you to take some time with your spouse, it's necessary. Even if you can't take 4 days at the beach, you can take 2 at a hotel an hour from your house. I mean, even if you have to send the kids and stay home, if that's what needs to happen, just take the time to work on your relationship, because if you're not, it's going backwards.
Yeah, you have to schedule that.
Yes.
If you do stay home, I recommend get the house in order before, to where you're not washing dishes, you're not
doing
because
laundry,
I know I can turn it off, but Brandy can't.
I can't.
She's going to think about something and go do it. That's the importance of leaving, right?
Right.
You're not going to think about
that's
it.
That's why we leave, because I'm going to see the dishes and I'm going to want to do them.
So
I'm
you can do this at home, but it's not as efficient as it's just not as good as doing it somewhere.
Unless your house is spotless all the time and you never have anything else.
But even though somebody's going to come knock on the door, there's going to be something. There's always something. So it can be done. It's just you're not going to get the same out of it as going somewhere for even one night. I'd prefer to go somewhere for one night at a freaking hotel 30 minutes down the road or an hour down the road, whatever.
Yes.
Just like the next town over where people don't know you, right? Just go and get a hotel.
Change of scenery.
Yeah, just do something different. And go eat at a different restaurant. Go do that. It's going to be way different than doing it at home. All right. Well, anyway, that's all we got. Share this episode. We're going to go ahead. We're going to be on all, I know it's going to be on Apple Podcasts, and it's going to be on YouTube and all that stuff. So, but wherever you watch it, go look for it. Search it somewhere. It'll be on there. Jacob Gospel Podcast.
I have no clue, so.
And I don't really know either. We just we just do this, and they do other stuff. So
I just do it.
But yeah, so we thank you for this. But make sure you subscribe. I know it's on YouTube, so hit subscribe. Please share it. That's the only way we can help people is to let more people see this stuff. Because even though you might think it's bullshit, the next guy might think that, man, this is exactly what I need to hear. I needed this one thing that this guy said, or this chick said. So just share it. We don't get paid for this. It actually costs us money to do this. So, but we want to help people. So if you can share it, that's the way to get the word out. So Anyway, we love each and every one of you. We'll see y'all next time.
It made it.
It made it. The motherfucker's dead though.